Assalamu alaikum. Yesterday we discussed the chapter of sound from the series of from the theme of waves. Today we are going to study about magnetism. Magnetism is basically the first chapter in the theme of electromagnetism and magnetism. We had different syllabus and first of all we discussed in the previous week and in the last lecture about the theme of waves. We discussed all of the three chapters: the general wave properties, the sound waves, and the electromagnetic waves. And today we are going to start the topic of magnetism. And magnetism, the theme of magnetism is relatively difficult if we compare it with the rest of the themes, because this theme is basically like it is not has many daily life examples, so students find it usually difficult, and usually its topic is usually at a study taught at the end of the 3 years. That's why many students lack in this theme. So we'll start with the properties of magnets. What are magnets? Magnets have two poles. You have already seen magnets many times in your home or at your school, wherever you have seen them. And you know that magnets have two poles, south pole and north pole. This is already taught in 7th class and 6th class, and this is a must have a prior knowledge about the magnets. What does magnet do? A magnet basically attracts magnetic materials such as nickel, cobalt, and steel with it. And what are the basically how? So we know the like poles of the magnet repel each other. What do you mean by like poles? Like poles mean the poles which are same. For example, here in the first diagram we can see that the both north poles of the magnet are facing towards each other and they are repelling each other. So like poles of the magnets repel each other, whereas unlike poles attract each other. For example, if you are going to attract magnet with this anything with its like north pole, then you must have the south pole towards facing towards the north pole of the magnet. What do you mean by magnetic field? Around the magnet, there is a magnetic field. There is a region in which we can experience the like effect of magnet. We cannot like feel the effect of magnet anywhere around the magnet. There is a certain region in which magnetic field can be experienced, and this is the basically the like process in which you can draw the magnetic lines. You have to like from north poles the lines emerge and then they enter into the south poles. The field is basically uniform in the center of the magnet, and the magnetic field gets weaker when we go as like with a larger distance with respect to the position of magnet. Now, plotting magnet field lines. What will you need to? This is a question usually asked in ATP, that you have to plot the magnetic field lines around a compass or around using a compass around a bar magnet. So what you will need a bar magnet, you will need a plotting compass, a plain paper, and a pencil. What to do? Place the magnet in the center of the sheet. You will have to place the magnet in the center of the sheet and draw around it. Place the compass near one pole of the magnet. Place the compass and the shaded region of the compass will points towards the shaded regions of the compass will point towards the north pole. You will have to mark the direction, and in this way you will start joining those dots in which the magnetic field, like in which the compass has like directed the north pole. Now you will join both of the ends, and in this way you will be able to create your magnetic field lines. Now here is the pattern in which you can see that they have joined all of the points. I am unable to draw it like clearly because of the pen, and you can see in the diagram over here that they have joined the points which were like implemented or drawn in the previous diagram, and those points were joined And in this way we have drawn a pattern of magnetic field lines. You can see practically, you can see over here that this one is a diagram in which you can see that we are plotting the compass, and the compass is plotting in the direction of the north pole. Here in this diagram iron fillings are shown, and the compass is also shown, and you can see that the iron fillings themselves arrange themselves in the direction of the magnetic field. Now the next topic is induced magnetism. What do you mean by induced? You have already learned this term in the topic of static electricity when we learn about the charging of conductors by induction. So from the word induction, we know that there's a term induced. And induced basically, induced or induction basically mean to introduce something without a special contact or without using some proper method. So we can create any material a magnet by inducing magnetism in it. And we can induce magnetism in it by Walaikum Assalam Muhammad. Okay. This topic would be rather difficult for Muhammad, but you will have to study this topic in O3, and doesn't matter if you study it on O2 as well, because the topic of magnetism is also taught in the topic in the class 6 and class 7. So this topic is just like you can say that this is basically a sequel of that topic. It is just some terms which are not you will be not familiar with, but you will be able to learn this topic soon. So a permanent magnet can attract or repel another permanent magnet. It can also attract any unmagnetized magnetic material, for example, permanent magnet. Now, for inducing magnetism in these paper clips, what we will do? We will attract these paper clips with this magnet. Thus, this side of magnet, this is the pole, south pole of the magnet. So obviously, north pole of the paper clip will be over here, and the south pole will be here. Now, this paperclip will be able to again attract the next north pole, and then the next south pole will be generated, and then this south pole will be able to join the next north pole, and then the next south pole. In this way, different paper clips are then converted into, like you can say, temporary magnets. And as you can see in this diagram, that ball bearings are being attached to this magnet, and due to first of all one of the bearing was attached, and then the rest of the bearings were joined later. Okay, so we will move towards the topic magnetic materials. Let me tell you one thing very clearly, that metals, all of the metals are magnetic material. For example, if we have a wire of copper around us or near, if there is any copper wire present, you can check it by like attaching it with by making it in contact with any another metal. You will feel that magnetism will not be felt because copper is not a magnet. You cannot say the copper is a magnet. Magnetic materials, the definition of a magnet is different from the definition of magnetic materials. Magnetic materials are those materials which can be magnetized or which can be demagnetized. While magnet is a magnet, is basically a type of a stone magnet. And if we go into the history of magnet, then we find that there is a stone known as lodestone, which was basically a magnet in which started to attract different materials. So materials which can be easily magnetized are iron. Steel is a steel is difficult to magnetize and demagnetize, but iron is a soft magnetic materials. Soft magnetic material. It can be easily magnetized and demagnetized. Non-magnetic materials. Now, what are not non-magnetic materials? Materials which do not attract the magnets, like we say I discussed earlier about the copper. You will अगर copper use होता ना magnet as a magnetic material, तो obviously या conductors वगैरह में use ना as a conductor use ना होता. That's categorize copper as a magnet. Due to current, already the magnets fields experience magnetic field, therefore experience magnetic force, and then the electricity would not be able to like proceed. Magnetized materials. What are magnetized materials? Magnetized materials are those materials which have been magnetized by using some method, by induction or by using any other method. For example, by passing a DC current through the magnetic material, we can also make a magnetic magnetized. Now, this was the effect of magnetic effect of current about which I was talking, that conductors did not, that basically do not use magnetic. Okay, so what is the magnetic effect of a current? Magnetic field due to current in a straight edge. Whenever a current is passed through a conductor, a magnetic field is generated around that conductor. You can see the magnetic field lines in this and the direction of current. You can also see the direction of current via these blue arrows. And the green lines are representing magnetic field lines as shown below. A weak magnetic field is produced around the wire. Basically a weak magnetic field is produced. It depends on the like amount of current which you are going to pass through that conductor. The current through the wire increases, the strength of the magnetic field also increases. So you can say that the current strength of current is also directly proportional to the amount of current is basically directly proportional to the strength of the magnetic field. And if the direction of current flowing through the wires changes, the direction of magnetic field around the wires also changes. Obviously, the direction is in two directions. Either the direction is clockwise, you can say, or the direction is anti-clockwise. So whenever the direction of current will reverse, the direction of current will also reverse. So the direction of magnetic field produced by a current is given by the right hand grip rule as shown below. Imagine gripping the wire with your right hand so that thumb points in the direction of the conventional current. As you know that the direction of current which is used in Cambridge is conventional current. We do not use electron flow direction, we use the direction of conventional flow. So we will like consider that from where the particles that from where the current is emerging into the positive direction. Your fingers will curl in the direction of the magnetic field. This field from right hand rule. Grip rule, you can easily find the direction of current and the direction of magnetic field as well. Magnetic field due to current in a solenoid. Well, now what is a solenoid? A solenoid is basically a wire that is like wound in a three-dimensional way, and that is like in the form of a coil. A coil is basically two-dimensional, whereas a solenoid is basically three-dimensional. Now, if you are going to pass current, you are going to attach the solenoid with a battery, and you are going to pass current through a solenoid. A magnetic field will be created around that solenoid, and the direction can again be found through right and grip rule. If the current, what are the factors which affect the current around a solenoid? If the current through a solenoid increases, the strength of magnetic field also increases, and if we increase the number of turns in the solenoid, the strength of magnetic field also increases. If we increase the number of turns in the solenoid, the strength of the magnetic field also increases. Here it's a grammatical mistake in the presentation. It is basically the turns, the number of turns in the magnetic field, the number of turns of the solenoid. The third factor is if the direction of current flowing through the solenoid changes, the field around the solenoid and the poles of the solenoid also changes. If you are going to change the current direction of current, then also the poles are going to reverse themselves. So to work out which way poles the round the poles are, we can use another right hand grip rule as shown. You have to curl your fingers in the direction of the current and your thumb will point towards the north pole. So you can find the direction from the direction of your thumb. Method of magnetization. How can you magnetize? You can magnetize solenoid. This is a solenoid. This is a basically practical solenoid. You have to attach this solenoid with the battery. With that, you have to attach the terminals of the solenoid with the battery, and you will be able to like when you will pass a current through the solenoid, a magnetic field will be created around this solenoid in the way the like in the poles will be created. And the direction of the basically poles depends on the direction of the current in which you are going to pass the current. That direction of magnetic field can also be found through like right and ripple. Magnetic stroking method. This one is a very quite easier method of magnetizing materials. A piece of magnet material, a piece of any material which can be magnetized, which should be a soft magnetic material. Here we start stroke with a permanent magnet, stroking it consistently from one end to another. It becomes magnetized. For example, if this is a permanent magnet and this one is a steel bar, and you are going to stroke it, like you are going to hit it again and again and again and again, and then obviously this will be generated. It will be generated as a sort of the steel bar will be magnetized and the poles will be created. And you do not have, they have mentioned clearly that you not have to, you're not going to reverse the direction because obviously reversing direction will have to cancel out the effect. So move the permanent magnet along the dotted line. Here is the like, direction of generating poles. Now we have discussed some methods of the magnetization, like by stroking, by like using the method of in which we can magnetize paper clips, and by passing current through a magnet through a conductor, we can create like a magnetic field around that conductor. Now we are going to discuss the methods to demagnetize that those materials. Demagnetize. First of the method which we are going to study is demagnetization by alternating current. Magnetic materials were magnetized using a direct current, whereas while you are going to demagnetize those materials, you will have to pass alternating current through that, because alternating current is the current which can reverse its direction. So by reversing the direction again and again, it can easily demagnetize the material. So a magnet to be demagnetized is placed inside a solenoid. The solenoid is connected to an alternating current supply. Here is the magnet which was placed inside a solenoid, uh, and you are going to pass alternating current. This is a symbol of alternating current supply. This is a switch, and this one is a solenoid. Now that the magnet is withdrawn far away from the solenoid in the east-west direction, while the alternating current is still flowing. As the process repeats, the magnet will be demagnetized. So you will have to withdraw the magnet again and again from the solenoid so that its direction should be reversed and the poles should be eliminated. Demagnetizing by heating. If we heat a magnet strongly by means of Bunsen burner, the magnet will lose. Like we use the flame of Bunsen burner in order to discharge the static charges. You can also use heat to demagnetize a magnetic material. You can use Bunsen burner flame to demagnetize a magnet in a laboratory. Demagnetizing by hammering. If we have like created a magnet of a non-magnet, if a magnetic material of a simple, like you can say a soft magnetic material, then we can also demagnetize that material by hammering it, by hitting it again and again. And since we know a magnet has domains in it, and the domains will be misaligned then. Obviously, the domains of a like permanent magnet, or you can say a magnetized material, are arranged properly. And if you are going to hammer that, the domains are obviously going to change the direction. The directions will be changed, and in this way, you will see that obviously the magnet will lose its magnetism and will become weaker. Now, these are the properties of permanent magnet and temporary magnets. But what a permanent magnet? For example, the main example which I already gave you is the temporary magnet is iron, and the main example of permanent magnet is steel. These are the two examples which are most commonly used in laboratories and in daily life. Now, what are the properties of a temporary magnet? Temporary magnet is basically a soft magnetic material. It is easy to magnetize and demagnetize. It can lose its magnetism easily. It is used to make electromagnets. It is used in making transformers, automated relays, electric bells, and magnetic relays. Electric bells and magnetic relays and relay relays, these are also a part of the chemistry syllabus, and we will read about these topics in the later. chapter, the chapter which we will be discussing later on. Now, what are hard magnetic materials? Hard magnetic materials are those magnetic materials which are difficult to magnetize and demagnetize. They can easily, they cannot retain its magnetism easily. Used to make permanent, they are used to make permanent magnets. They are used in DC motors, AC generators, galvanometers, loudspeakers, and magnetic load catches. DC motors, AC generators, galvanometer, and loudspeaker. What is a galvanometer? A galvanometer is basically instrument that is used to basically detect current, just like we have a tester in our home to detect the presence of current, and that tester shows some light to show the presence of the current. So this galvanometer has basically uses the same principle that it deflects its needle in order to show that the current is present there. Application of the magnetic effect of a current. Magnetic relay. Magnetic relay, we will be discussing magnetic relay later on. Circuit breaker is we will discuss circuit breaker in the chapter of particle electricity. Loudspeaker is also not the part of the syllabus. Everybody also. Magnetic screening. Now this one is a very important topic, magnetic screening or magnetic shielding, and the question is asked about this topic again and again in the past papers. What do you mean by basically screening? Screening is basically protecting the equipment that is basically using the magnetic field around it from that equipment. Magnetic screening is protecting delicate instrument from stray magnetic field by placing delicate instruments inside the soft iron box. Now here is a soft iron box, and you have to place the equipment inside. Now whenever a magnetic field will be present around, those field lines will pass through the iron. They will not touch the instrument. They will only pass through the soft iron shield, and they will not allow the magnetic field lines to damage your equipment. And in this way, the field lines will protect your field lines by passing through a proper channel. They will protect your instrument. So, what's written over here? Since the soft iron is a magnetic material, so stray magnetic field lines can go through the soft iron as shown below, but the reach into the delicate instrument. It will protect the layer of soft iron around it. So this was our lecture for today, and the lecture included topics of the complete chapter of magnetism. And I think this is enough for today. Tomorrow we will be dealing with the chapter of electromagnetism. And electromagnetism is basically a sequel of the series of magnetism. We have the topic of magnetism and then electromagnetism, electromagnetic induction, and then we have the chapter of electronics so far. So thank you and Allah Hafiz.